Self-confidence. Now, self-confidence, if you are suffering from self-confidence and self-belief issues, then A, you're not alone. Everyone does at some point or another, and do still. Even people who appear to be very confident are sometimes very self-conscious and not very confident in certain situations. So you're not alone. Now, a few things I'd like to consider or find out is why you feel low in confidence. Is it related to some events? Is it related to something childhood? Is it that you weren't able to do things, and when you've done them, let's say at school, you were criticised by teachers saying you were no good at that, and did that dent your confidence? So I'd like to think about if there's a reason why you feel unconfident doing certain things. But also, and spend some time doing that, writing things down, see if you can actually identify any things that actually may have influenced your now criticism of yourself, your lack of confidence in doing things. But you also have to consider, and you have to consider this very strongly, that you've moved on since whenever that was, if there was an event which knocked your confidence, that life's different. The way the brain works is when you come up to a certain thing or a decision to make or a visual thing that stimulates you, the imagery goes in, it goes to a data store and say, last time this happened, what happened? And then you get a message back saying this happened, whether it might have been a bad thing if you knocked your confidence. So you assume the same thing is going to happen again, but it's not, it doesn't. There's another part of your brain, your logic part of your brain, which should say, actually no. This is a different situation. It's a different scenario. It's a different time. I'm a bit older. All the variables are different from that time when it happened badly before. So consider the possibility that actually what happened last time won't happen this time. And then use that to actually try and do the next thing. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to just show some things that actually may help you and in your thinking about your confidence, because at the end of the day, all these things, whether it be self-confidence, whether it be time management, whether it be handling rejection, which is another one of the posts that need to do, which is really related to this, whether it be worrying about things, it's all about mind management and how you manage your mind and not letting the negatives outweigh the positives of the situation. And I just want to give you one thing to consider briefly in this video. Imagine, if you will, you can walk, you confidently walk, I dare say. Imagine, if you will, I asked you to walk, and let's just take this. So this is a plank on the ground, and this is your carpeted floor and your lounge, and these are a couple of bricks here and here. And imagine if I asked you to walk across this plank. It's a foot wide plank. Be pretty confident doing it, wouldn't you? Yeah? So bear that in mind for a second. If I now asked you, same plank, same bricks, but this time I've actually put that plank across a big gangway, a big street, or a big alley, or a big ravine, where it's a long drop. 2 buildings, 2 skyscrapers, and I've put this plank across the top of 2 skyscrapers. What do you think now? You now are focusing on this, the fall. What will happen if you slip off that piece of wood, that plank? But the mere fact that plank hasn't changed from when it was on a carpeted floor, the process of walking across that plank is unchanged. You can still confidently walk across that plank. But because I've now given you greater risk, you're now less adverse to crossing that plank. Now we need to change you. Look at your mindset and say, actually the plank's still the same. The plank is the plank. Whether it's on my carpet, whether it's across 2 buildings, the process of walking across that plank is the same. Now I agree, in practice, it's difficult not to imagine falling down. In fact, you can focus on nothing but falling down now, because that's not going to preoccupy your thinking. The difference in having confidence is actually being able to concentrate on the process, the walking the plank, rather than the downsides. But let me give you one more scenario in that, which may alter your thinking again. What if I put a small child on the end of the other end of the plank? Where's your motivation now? Where's your confidence? Will you now be able to cross that plank, regardless of this, in order to preserve that child? You see how that alters your mindset when giving something a target to go at, in this case a small child with the risk of them falling off the building. How now you disregard this. You're now focused on doing that, saving the right thing, saving the child. So you see, it's about a mindset. Now, if you are low in confidence and you don't want to do things, you can stay as you are. Nothing's changed, nothing's going to change. If you have the ability to try and do something new, make yourself a little bit uncomfortable, to give it a go, then if you fail, you're still no worse off than you were to begin with. You're still in the same position. You haven't gone back anywhere. You're still just where you were. But if you succeed, then what you do is you make your confidence a little bit more the next time you try something else. So I'd like you to do one thing. I'd like you to do something which makes you just a little bit uncomfortable. Something that actually just pushes that comfort zone a little bit much and that you're not very confident in. Try not to worry about what people think, what you think, be criticism that may come your way from doing it. Pick something very small, but give it 100%. If you give it 50%, you will probably feel as if you're not doing enough and you won't feel comfortable. Commit to it, give it 100% and see how you go from there. Just remember, it's how you think about it. Look for the positives in what you're doing rather than the potential negatives that come from it. And then we can work on the next things. But try and first off see where those feelings come from. But also accept that actually even the most confident people who you think are confident do suffer from self-confidence issues as well. They're just willing to put themselves out there and become comfortable in the uncomfortableness of the situation and try something new, because when you do, your confidence gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're willing to take on more things. But start off small, like a brick wall. Start off small, put one brick down first, then we can build on it and build on it and build on it.